Okay, guys, since one of you guys said that you like me with my videos doing my theme song, so we're gonna do a theme song that we all made up, all of us. So here we go. So we react to everything Disney favor, no matter what it is, duck-tailed or horror related.
As long it was made by Disney. That is what we do to you guys. We react to those ones that you want us to react to. As long as Disney was made by Disney. So deal with it. And don't and and don't worry, we will be on there soon.
So be happy that we will react to it. That is our theme song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any words from Solly? Well, good idea. Bye-bye. So that's our theme song, guys.
Hello, I'm Roy Disney. It was over 60 years ago that I first heard my uncle, Walt Disney, talk about his vision for a concert film. It was to be unlike anything the world had ever seen, breaking new ground in animation, sound, and technology. At the suggestion of conductor Leopold Stokowski, it was called Fantasia, and it would be one of the crowning achievements of Walt's career. But it wasn't the first time he would startle audiences with breathtaking innovations. Walt was the first to introduce synchronized sound in an animated film with Steamboat Willie. Flowers and Trees was the first color cartoon. In the mid-30s, Walt's team developed a multiplane camera that gave startling new depth to animation. It was put to wonderful use on the first full-length animated feature, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And in 1940, with Fantasia, Walt elevated the art of animation once again when he developed the first use of multi-track stereophonic sound to approximate a concert-going experience. At Walt Disney Feature Animation, we've continued this tradition of innovation. And when the computer first became available as an animation tool, we saw it as a great opportunity. In The Great Mouse Detective, the gears of Big Ben were computer-generated and combined with hand-drawn cells of the characters.
Tale as old as time.
In Beauty and the Beast, sweeping camera moves through three-dimensional scenes heightened the reality and the entertainment experience.
Rex, you navigate. Ham and potato, operate the levers and knobs.
Toy Story and Toy Story 2 took computer animation to infinity and beyond by creating completely digital universes and characters. Dinosaur advances the technology even further, becoming our first full-length feature to combine naturalistic digital animation with real-life backgrounds. These days, we continue to push the envelope, helping to pioneer the development of digital projection systems for theaters that will let us present animation with heightened clarity. And with DVD, we're now able to deliver our films right out of our computer and into your home with digital perfection. The story of animation is in many ways the story of the dynamic interrelationship between art and technology. The result is a dramatic and constantly growing creative legacy. Fantasia remains an important piece of that legacy. Walt's original concept was for it to be a continually evolving showpiece of the wonders of animation. 60 years later, Fantasia 2000 is the realization of his visionary dream. Now, on behalf of the whole family of Disney animators, past and present, we're proud to present Fantasia 2000.
So, Hi everybody, Martin here. So we moved from Fantasia from original Fantasia to Fantasia 2000, which it does have its own segments. And I won't be mentioning the Sorcerer's Apprentice since I already did my thoughts on that in the original Fantasia. So if you're looking for that, go find that video and do it and get my answers from that one. And along with the rest of the segments on the other songs and composers and shorts that were in the other one. This is for Fantasy 2000, and if I don't know if I'm going to be able to get what Roy Disney says about this movie, because he was trying his best to honor his uncle by making because his uncle wanted to have Fantasia continue and make like a bunch of sequels to it and have it be like shorts for it and have it go on thing. It just didn't go that way because Fantasia didn't perform as well as he thought it would. So in honor of his uncle, he wanted to continue the work. It took him a long time to do it, to get him happening this, and the name, it's kind of weird because the fact that back in 2000, a lot of things were called blank 2000 because that year was when that year happened. A lot of people were scared of the world ending because of the computer thing. It didn't happen, obviously, and but a lot of things were called blank 2000. This is one of those things that was called blank 2000. And yes, I agree. These songs, segment shorts are not as good as the original shorts that were in the original Fantasia, but I still love them. They're great. And the songs are good in their own way. The only one that's kind of short, that's kind of weird, even the one who So this one has a bunch of segments too. Like I usually do, I'll save the one that has to do with Donald, and the little part about where Mickey is looking for Donald for their own part. So I won't talk about that one till later on. But what's good to talk on the one that don't feature don't feature the ones I usually do voices for. So let me look up the songs' names. Okay, so we got the very first one, which is basically I guess two butterflies that are trying to survive. A mama butterfly and a parent butterfly. And that one, it's okay. It's just mostly, I think it's most supposed to segment, I guess the fairies one. Epically, that one. And that one is Symbiote number 5, Chicago Symphony Orchestra. And that one's only like 2 minutes. So I know these songs are in order. So that's why I mostly think of the butterfly one. The next one is, I think I do like 3 of them from here the most. I'm not sure which one out of the 3 I like the most, but this is one of my favorite ones. I've seen art like this at this in my home in a town that's nearby where I live. A city actually that's on a building. And this one is conformed by the song is called Paying a Rome by Otis Re. I'll make sure to put their names on here if I pronounce them wrong. Sometimes I forget to do that, but I'm trying my best to do that. So basically, what happens in this one is three humpback whales, their parents and the baby, and we get to see a bunch of other humpback whales who somehow learned how to fly, like they're freaking birds, but it's more like they're swimming, and instead in the sky. So I guess a bunch of seagulls who are some reason are in the Arctic. And when the seagulls are chasing the little baby humpback around, he bumps into a bunch of ice blocks and gets trapped inside beneath it. And his parents are looking for it, and he has to find his own way out. Eventually, for somehow, he finds like a hole in the ice sculpt in the ice block, and he flies his way out for the top. Then we can see a bunch of other ones fly later, and I find this, even though it's the animation's kind of weird. I mean, I like it. It's pretty much 3D animation, trying to look like 2D animation, especially the little baby whale. And that's it. It looks beautiful, and the music fits along with it perfectly. So I like this one a lot. And the next one after that is number 3, which was the one that takes place in New York. This one's called Symphony and Blues by George Igwell. And I will talk about all the cameos that show up in this later, but I just want to talk about the shorts first. This one is like about three different people who are just trying to live their life in New York. Well, yeah, actually, 4, yeah. One is the little girl who wants to be with their parents all the day, but they're too busy doing their job, so they have her do like a bunch of schools to keep her busy. And a husband who wants to go out and have fun, but his wife won't let him. A guy who's down on his luck, and who doesn't have any money, who wants a job. And a construction worker who wants to be a drummer. So it's a really great song, and it's supposed to. I think it's just basically showing how hectic living in New York is. I've never been there, and every time I see stuff about it, makes me never want to be there. There is things I want to see there. I just don't want to deal with all the hassle of the crowd. So, yeah. And people being rude. So, and they like show a bunch of segments here of people going out from the subway into the subway. So it's pretty funny. And we like see all 4 people like think about like them skating on ice and them being free. So this one is another one I like. It's fun, and I love the animation and stuff like that for this one. And number 4 is the one I think is the Steadfast Soldier. Steadfast Tin Soldier, who's was based off of Hans Christian Andersen, which is about 3 different characters. I know in the story, Jack in the Box is a devil, I think, and the ending's different, which I know who's surprised about that. Disney always changes a sad ending to a happy ending because they probably thought what happens to the Steadfast and the ballerina is sad. I mean, it's kind of like what happens to Romeo and Juliet. They both end up dying, but this time around they actually stay together because they both get melted into a heart. Because instead what happens to the Jack in the Box here happens to those guys. They're the ones that fall in the fire, not the Jack in the Box. And the Jack in the Box is just trying to want to manhandle the ballerina. So we get to see the Steadfast Tin Soldier, who's only has one leg, and he knocks the other 10 soldiers off. Then he sees the ballerina standing on one of her tiptoes like they do, and he thinks like him, he only has one leg. So he goes and gives her a flower. He realizes that she actually has 2 legs when she puts her other leg down. He thinks that she won't like her because of that, but she takes a flower and to make her feel better, I guess. And obviously the Jack in the Box gets jealous, and he goes after after the Tin Soldier, and he tries to knock him into a fire. It doesn't work. Instead, he gets thrown over near the window. And he throws like a wooden toy boat at him, and he gets knocked out the window and gets thrown into the sewers and ends up in the ocean somehow. A fish ends up eating him. The people who own the toys, the mom buys a fish, and the little boy finds the toy, falls out of the fish, and takes him back upstairs to his room. And then we get to see them reunite, and this time the Tin Soldier battles the Jack in the Box, and like I said earlier, the ending's different. Instead of the ballerina and the Tin Soldier fall into the fire, Jack in the Box does, and they end up being together at the very end. So happy ending, yay! So let's get on to the last one. There's 2 more, and they're not the one to do Donald Duck. So one after that is number 5. The chorus of animals. It's about by Carrot Saint. I'll just put down a picture name of that one because that name looks really weird. But that one is about even James Earl Jones thinks it's silly because what would happen if you gave yo-yos to a flock of flamingos, and he says, who wrote this? But this one, I would say this is the most silliest one. I can understand. This is mostly a flamingo trying to have fun, while the other ones are mad, and when they try to get him, they look similar to that red monster from Looney Tunes. So this is the most it's fine. It's a very silly segment, and it's something that probably didn't need to be asked, but it's just somebody messing around. So it's fine. It's mostly makes me laugh when I watch it, so I like it. Just find it silly. So the one after that is the Donald Duck one. But I'm gonna say that one for itself. The last one I'm gonna talk about with my regular voice is the one that is supposed to be, I guess, the one that is the closeout one, which is the Firebird Suite, 19 version by um, Leonardo Sikorsky, and this is basically about Mother Nature and Imp, one of those tree characters from Greek mythology. Make sure everybody look up and say it right. Nymph, who's just basically trying to bring back a rainforest or regular forest, whatever forest, back from a lava phoenix, trying to burn it down because she disturbed it. And there's also a deer. And she almost gets herself killed by messing with something she probably shouldn't. Because it's basically showing that not only even nature can cause an animal forest, not just people, I guess. Animal fire and forest fire, and she ends up the deer ends up like helping her after she loses the battle and against the Firebird, but she ends up bringing back the forest back to life. It's pretty. It's cool. It reminds me of the two segments from the last one. Reminds me of the Greek mythology one because it's very similar to it. And I guess the segment, and then the last segment because it has to do with death and fire. So it has to do with good being evil, just like in the last one of the last Fantasia one. So this one, like I said before, it's not it's not the best one out there, but it's still Fantasia 2000 still great. So I'll get to doing the Donald and the Donald one next. With my voice is Donald, so take it away, Donald. I forgot to mention all the cameos that happen in this movie. I'm not gonna name them all because I don't know them all. The ones that I know names of are Steve Martin, James Earl Jones, Bette Midler, Angelina Jolie, Angela Lansbury. Sorry about that. And those two magicians, Penn and Teller. I think they're all right. I understand why some people would not like them. They're probably find them annoying. Just want to get back to the songs, but we had Inductor introduce each segment, each original time one show up, but they're fine. Steve Martin's just being silly, trying to explain that some of these people are first doing the song. We see James L. Jones wondering what the hell, why would Flamingo want to play the yo-yo. Bette Midler explained a lot of the segments that got deleted, and Penn Teller basically explaining that magic is just a hoax that we see all the time. They're fine. They're not these actors and talenters at their best, but they're fine. So that's really what I want to say about these cameos. Then now I'll hand it over to Donald.
So, in this one short, well, 2 shorts to count. Me like he's looked out all twice in the shower. And I had to walk in on him to let him know his segment's ready after my segment's done. And definitely, I have a different voice actor during this. It's sadly the one, I think it's the one who was married to another actor. Married to Mickey's actress. So, sorry to the cat who once wanted this attention. What's wrong, Simba? Anyway, so, I walk in on Donald me taking a shower because I'm trying to get ready for my segment. I have to make myself look very, very beautiful. And Mickey walks in on my shower. I have to let you know that it's time for you to get on. Doesn't mean you just walk in, knock on the door. Anyway, this short is called Sympathy March 1, 2, 3 by Edward Edister. And it's based off of Noah's Ark. And I'm basically, I guess, Noah's helper in this because we do see Noah in this. And we're supposed to help get all the animals on the boat. For some reason, I lose sight of Daisy. Sadly, Martha has not got a Daisy toy, so we can't do Daisy. She's not a very big fan of her anyway, so that's alright. But I can't find Daisy during this whole entire time for 40 days, 40 nights. How does that even happen? But we end up like seeing 2 ducks. Like, didn't we already have 2 ducks going on the ark? What the heck? And we get to see a bunch of little creatures who try to get on the ark too. And I sent a dove, to go and find a leaf. And Daisy has a locket, which she ends up losing later on, and that's how we reunite. And somehow the ark finds a ways back on land, which is really silly the way they does it. And when I'm sweeping, I find the locket that belongs to Daisy, and that's how we find each other. So Daisy thinks I drowned, even though it's silly. I'm a duck. Ducks don't drown. They can swim very fine. But it's a great short. It's really funny and stuff like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little history lesson about Fantasy 2000. If anything you want to add, you can. If you want to get thanks, you can. So, like, favorite, subscribe. And hope you guys enjoy me being sad about me. And shut up, Simba! Shut up! I am talking! That kitten does not know when to shut up! Is he telling me to shut up? Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Bye-bye!